Governor Initiatives on Agrarian Reform Manuel L. Quezon, 1935 to 1944. Republic Act 4054 or the Rice Tenancy Law was the first law on a crop sharing which legalized the 50-50 share between landlord and tenant, with corresponding support to tenants, protecting them against abuse of landlords, implemented because most of the municipal councils were composed of power hacenderos and big landlords. In fact, only one municipality passed all resolutions for its enforcement, and majorities have petitions its applications to the Governor General. Republic Act 4054 or Rice Tenancy Law ay parang ino-over nila para sa suporta sa mga tenant para sa kanilang kaligtasan from potential exploitations by landlords. Unfortunately, the law have faced challenges in its implementations as many municipal councils na dominate by influential hacendero and large landlords. Consequently, only one municipality actively enforced the law, while yung iba naman ay kailangan ng approval sa kanilang Governor General, illustrating the resistant and limited applications of this agrarian reform measure.
The 1935 Constitution provided a specific provision on social justice and expropriation of landed estate for distribution to tenants as a solution to the land ownership and tenancy problems. Commonwealth Act No. 461 specified that dismissal of tenants should first have the approval of Tenancy Division of the Department of Justice. Commonwealth Act No. 608 was enacted to establish security obtained between landlord and tenant. It prohibited that common practice among landowners of ejecting tenants without clear legal grounds. Sa Act No. 461 passed in 1902 is a law that aimed to implement regulations on the sale of government land in the Philippines. Under this law, citizens of the Philippines in the United States ay maaaring mag-apply para sa mga lupa ng government na hindi higit sa 16 hectares. Ang mga aplikante ay dapat na hindi bababa sa 21 taong gulang at dapat silang magpatuloy na tirahan at ang lupa para sa loob ng 5 taon bago ito maging kanila. Ang Act No. 608 naman ay kilala rin bilang anti-dummy law ay ipinatupad sa Pilipinas noong 1940. Ang batas na ito ay nagbabawal sa mga hindi Pilipino makialam sa operasyon ng mga negosyo at industriya na nakalaan para sa mga mamayang Pilipino. Ito ay nilikha upang maiwasan ang pag-iwas sa mga batas na nililimita sa ilang mga larangan ng negosyo para sa mga Pilipino. Sa madaling salita, ito ay isang batas na nagtatanggol sa mga pang-ekonomiyang interes ng mga Pilipino.
What was his program? On land reform, President Quezon laid down a social justice program focused on the purchase of large haciendas which were divided and sold for tenants. This administration was responsible for establishing the National Rice and Corn Corporation or the NARIC and assigning public defenders to assist peasants in court battles for their rights to till the land. During this period, the Court of Industrial Production, a relation, or the CIR, was set up to the exercise jurisdiction over these agreements arising from agri-workers and landowners relationship. It was also during this time that the Rice Tenancy Act or Act number 4054. So, ano nga ba ang land reform? Ang reforma sa lupa ay isang anyo ng reformang agrarya na kinasasangkutan ng pagbabago ng mga batas, regulasyon o kaugalian tungkol sa pagmamay-ari ng lupa. Ang reforma sa lupa ay maaari binubuo ng isang pinasimulan ng gobyerno o muling pamamahagi ng ari-arian sa pangkalahatan ng lupang pang-agrikultura. Tulad ni President Quezon, bumili siya ng asyenda at hindi hinati-hati niya ito para ibenta sa mga tenant o yung mga nag-ookupado ng lupang pagtataniman. So ano ba ang NARIC? Ito ay isang akto upang paunlarin at pabutihin ang mga industriya ng bigas at mais upang patatagin ang presyo ng bigas at mais at upang isulong ang panlipunan at pangkabuhayan ng mga taong kasama sa produksyon ng mga staple foods na ito. Sa Rice Tenancy Act o Act 4054, ito po yung katulad ng naipaliwanag ni Sir nung nakarang discussion. Kasi maraming ang farmer na walang sariling lupain. Dito sa act na to ay nakasulat na 50-50 sharing sa nagmamayari ng lupa. Sa nagmamayari ng lupa ay mapupunta yung 50% ng pananim at yung 50% naman ay sa ating mga farmers. Kaya maraming farmers pa rin ang naghihirap dahil sa wala silang sariling lupain na pagtataniman.
The Homestead Program continued through the creation of the National Land Settlement Administration, CA number 441, and tenancy problems were covered through CA NOS 461 and 608. What hindered the implementation of land reform under his administration? Budget allocation for the settlement program made it impossible for the program to succeed. Also, most landlords did not comply with the Rice Tenancy Act. Widespread peasant uprising against abusive landlords continued. In addition, the outbreak of the World War II put a stop to the land ownership and tenancy intervention during this period. So the budget allocation for the settlement program was insufficient. Nangangahulugan daw ito na walang sapat na pondong ibinigay para sa programa upang epektibo daw na makamit ang mga layunin nito. As a result, the program faced various challenges and limitations, making it difficult for it to succeed. So secondly, the Rice Tenancy Act was not effectively enforced. So ang batas daw na ito ay naglalayong ayusin ng ugnayan sa pagitan ng mga Panginoong may lupa at magsasaka, na tinitiyak na patas at pantay ang pagbabahagi ng ani ng agrikultura. However, many landlords did not comply with the act, which lead to further exploitation and mistreatment of peasants. There was a widespread peasant uprising against landlords. Ang mga magsasaka na kadalasan napapailalim sa hindi patas na pagtrato at malupit na kondisyon sa pagtatrabaho, ay nagprotesta laban sa kanilang mga Panginoong may lupa in an attempt to secure their rights and improve their living conditions. But lastly, the outbreak of World War II had significant impact on land ownership and tenancy interventions. Naantala na ang digmaan ay nagpapatupad ng mga programa sa reforma sa lupa at iba pang mga intervention na naglalayong tugunan ang mga isyu na may kinalaman sa lupa. Ang focus at mga pagkukunan na pamahalaan ay lumipat patungo sa pagsisikap sa digmaan, na huminto sa pag-unlad na ginawa sa mga reforma sa pagmamay-ari ng lupa, pangungupahan sa panahon iyon. These combined factors created significant challenge for the settlement program and hindered its to success.
Manuel Rojas, 1946 to 1948. What were the interventions made by this administration related to land reform? Republic Act number 34 was enacted to establish a 70-30 sharing arrangement between tenant and landlord. The 70% of the harvest will go to the person who shoulder the expenses for planting, harvesting, and for the work animals. It also reduced the interest of landlord loans to tenants and not more than 6%. So dito po, karoon ng Republic Act na 70-30 sharing. Bali yung 70 mapupunta sa landlord dahil sila yung nag-harvest sila yung nag-shoulder ng harvesting, sila yung nag-shoulder ng expenses about sa planting at saka sa mga tenants by 66%.
President Rojas also negotiated for the purchase of 8,000 hectares of lands in Batangas owned by Ayala Sobel family. These were sold to landless farmers. However, due to the lack of support facilities, these farmers were forced to resell their lands to the land-owning class. This failure gave basis to doubt the real meaning of land reform program. Dahil sa kakulangan ng suporta na binibigay ng gobyerno, napilitan ipagbili ng mga magsasaka yung mga lupain nila sa land-owning class dahil wala silang kakayahang mapanatili iyon. At yung ganitong resulta, nagdudulot ng pangamba sa mga magsasaka at tunay na epekto ang layunin na programa na isinigawa ni Pangulong Rojas.
Ilpidio Quirino, noong 1948 to 1950. What was the major program of the Quirino administration regarding agrarian reform? Through Executive Order Number 255, the Land Settlement Development Corporation was established to accelerate and expand the peace and resettlement program of the government. However, due to limited post-war resources, the program was not successful. Sa Land Settlement Development Corporation, ito ay upang mapadali ang pagkuha, pag-areglo at pagtatanim ng mga lupain kung nakukuha man mula sa pamahalaan o mula sa mga pribadong partido, upang bigyan ng pagkakataon na magkaroon ng mga sakahan sa mga nangungupahan na magsasaka at maliit na magsasaka mula sa masikip na lugar at sa mga trainers na natapos ng itinakdang pagsanay sa militar. That's all about our topic. Thank you for listening.